Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Dungeon Boys, brought to you by Duke's Barbecue. Not a sponsor. That's an inside joke. Go back to an episode before to understand why. If you're here, we'd love it if you would leave our show a review. If you've been listening and you made it to this point and you say, you know what, I like what those Dungeon Boys do, write us a review on iTunes. That would be really helpful for us. Or share if you're not watching on iTunes, share our episode with your friends. If you're here on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. We've got all kind of stuff going on the channel. Me and a buddy do a gaming talk show called Game Talks. We try to get that out every week, but it's semi-weekly where we talk about games, game news, all kind of stuff. Me and my brother Brice, who plays Jack Law.
That's me.
Do not Dungeon Boys.
Aunt Jemima.
Yeah, Aunt Jemima and Thor God of Thunder. We play games, co-op games in the mornings. It's not morning now, but we wake up and we play games on the Steam, on the computer. We do co-op.
Fun, but cannot hold a candle to the sheer awesomeness of Broforce.
Broforce is 3 years old, but it's just wonderful. It's two bros playing Broforce, and we have a great time, as well as some other videos on the channel. But those are the big highlights. We hope you go over there and subscribe and check it out. I don't want to advertise too long, but sometimes I save those ads for the end, and I know you're not listening, so want to catch you at the beginning. But
we're lucky if you made it this far.
Absolutely.
There was a brief pause between leave and review.
Yeah.
So I thought you would please leave.
Why don't you please leave?
No.
A review.
No.
Please stay.
Somebody at home is listening going, well, okay.
No, don't leave. Don't leave. Thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate you. Also, follow us on Twitter at Tank Media Games. And if you have any questions, any concerns, or if you want to just say, hey, you suck at DMing and you guys suck at Dungeons and Dragons and we hate you, send an email to @tankmedia or tankmediagames@gmail.com.
And hurt our feelings.
Or leave a comment and hurt all of our feelings, because you can do that through the power of YouTube. But without any further ado, let's get into the game. Last week, they brought Briar, Arlo's master, Arlo's Druid teacher, back from the forest where he had been held hostage, and the gnolls of the forest were trying to use him to awaken something in the forest. They got him back to town. They let him sleep and try to rest up. Grim went to the jailhouse where they had the people of the village of Fark had captured a gnoll, and they were going to execute him. Grim freed that gnoll because he didn't believe that the gnolls were really responsible for the conflict of the gnolls and the Farkian folks there. He didn't believe that was their fault. So he set that gnoll free. But at the end of the episode, some gnoll army essentially came, led by a large gnoll named Blackfang. He was on the edge of town, and he threatened the town, saying that if they do not return the fat druid that they stole by nightfall of the next day, that he would descend on their town with fire and blood. And so that we left.
Did he bring in the blood?
He has blood, I guess. He will probably be. What he means is you guys have the blood. He will be, I guess, opening it up and displaying it for the town. At the end of the episode, he had lit a couple houses on fire, so now our party stands staring at a couple blazing houses on the edge of the town of Fark, and a crowd of people has surrounded this area, and the Sheriff Argnon is with them. You are free to act. There are people screaming. There are people very worried. People are shouting, "What are we going to do? What are we going to do? We got to put these fires out." You can hear the ringing bells of firemen, like ding, 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 running with buckets of water.
They just have a bill like that to their shoulder.
But you're free to act.
I can do nothing here.
There was like a fountain or something nearby, right?
I don't remember there being a fountain in this town. I don't know if I mentioned a fountain.
The garden.
Oh,
Yeah,
there is a fountain in the middle of the
garden.
garden. Yes,
Okay.
there is a fountain in the middle of the garden.
Yeah, I got this thing. I don't know if I want to try this one or not. I can give a shot. It's Tidal Wave.
That sounds not like a good idea.
Yeah,
Okay.
It puts out fires, but it damages. So
Okay.
I don't know if we want to damage too bad.
You cast mini Tidal Wave.
Cast Squirt.
Argnon is yelling, "Don't just stand there! At least grab a bucket of water!" And he runs off and tries to grab.
I grabbed 2 buckets of water.
So he runs into. There are several pumps and stuff where people are pumping buckets of water, and many men and women of the town are carrying buckets to and fro.
You said mini men.
Oh, mini men, tiny men.
Really
Are throwing
small
buckets of
ones.
water on this burning house, and the fire seems to be dying. And my dear, we're still goodbying. It is almost Christmas time.
It is.
The fire seems to be going out, but there's a lot of destruction in this house as it kind of pretty much fell down at the end of last episode.
Is there crying from inside?
No, there's no. The people who were inside got out.
I just love how you just asked that.
So you guys, Jack, what are you doing?
I can't really do much other than get a bucket.
Okay, so you guys are running to and fro with buckets of water. You're really building up a camaraderie with the town in doing this. The fact that you guys are jumping in and helping out in this situation, Arlo, you can whatever you want to do, you can let me know.
It's around like a couple of houses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Around one of the houses, can I cast Wall of Water?
Does that require water?
There's water right there, but I mean it calls up water.
Okay. Yeah, what's the spell do?
Conjures up a wall of water on the ground, a point you can see. Make the wall up to 30 feet long, 10 feet high, 1 foot thick, or in a radius 20 foot diameter, 20 feet high, and 1 foot thick.
20 feet high, 1 foot thick.
Lasts for 10 minutes.
Okay.
So
the wall
like
is
a ring 20 feet around.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Cool. So
You said there's like 3 fires. Can you like?
All the houses are in one area. So, and what's the radius? How long could this thing be?
20 feet. My biggest thing is I'm just trying to bring water to the area. So people aren't like running back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you bring the water up nearby and everybody.
Yes.
You want to RP that for us?
Yeah, I guess so.
Did you say anything?
Everybody's kind of in a panic. I guess I wouldn't really say anything, but like in the middle of everything, raise up this wall of water so that people have access to it.
Okay, so Argnon is seeing you summon this wall of water, and he says, "Everybody stand back from the water. Arlo is going to help us." And the water rises up, and the water goes up, and he says, "All right, start scooping from here." And so all the people with
I
buckets
don't know
begin.
how the sheriff knew what I was going to do.
Well,
I'm going to lose sleep over
No,
that.
he's watching the water come from the ground underneath people's feet, and
Okay.
he's trying to tell them to get out of the way.
I
Excuse
give
me.
Arlo a thumbs up.
Yay.
This is kind of a cool image to picture it like not just appearing, but like you slowly see like
just-
water like seeping up out of the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it starts like building up on top of itself, and as it towers up into like a big circular wall.
20-foot
Absolutely.
ring of water.
And that's what I was trying to say. That Argnon sees you doing your gnome summoning stuff, and he notices that, so he's telling people to stand back away. So now
Love
there's
it.
a great wall of water, a big reservoir that everyone's scooping water from and throwing it onto the house, and it really speeds up the ability of everyone to save this house. And the one house that Blackfang knocked down is pretty much destroyed, pretty much burned out. No one's going to live back in that thing. But your wall
I
of
cast
water,
Bob Vila on that one.
the wall of water actually allowed everyone to save the other 2 houses. So not kind of minimal damage to those. And so everyone is cheering, "Well, whoa, yeah, we did it! Thank you, Arlo! Thank you, everyone!" That's the general consensus of the crowd. And so after everything is done, the wall of water has receded, its usefulness being used up. Everyone is kind of going back to their homes, very pleased with themselves as the smoke and steam billows up into the sky, reflecting the...
I just remembered he's a gnome.
The torchlight is reflected off of it, and you can see the smoke rising into the sky as the last bit of embers smoke. And
As
Argnon,
the ring is like being like dispelled or whatever, because it only lasts like 10 minutes. Can I just have the water just spread across the ashes and everything?
Sure, yeah.
Cool.
Some of the ashiness and the soupy remains wash into the street. And Argnon
That's
says,
fun.
"I wish the circumstances were different, but I appreciate your help. Now I suppose we ought to finish with hanging that knoll with even better reason."
Yep.
"What do you mean, Grim?"
No, yeah, that's important.
Hanging a knoll.
Oh yes, you didn't hear? They're going to hang a Knoll prisoner they captured.
"Yes, we captured a knoll while you were all gone, and we intend to hang him this evening. The gallows are already built, and I imagine it's just what the townsfolk need this evening."
I see.
Arlo's kind of like looking and nodding real slowly over towards Grim, like, yeah.
"Can you all the other men are out helping everyone get back to their homes. Can you help me gather the knoll for this execution?
Yeah. Be happy to help.
Okay, so he leads you back.
I want to grab Jack and kind of pull him back a bit because I feel like Arlo knows some. I did something. He knows that. But I want to let you and Argonon go forward as I grab Jack and pull him back.
I get pulled back.
So listen, I let the knoll go free. I don't know how this is going to go down.
Arlo's talking with Argonon, and we're heading back, and I'm asking him more about this knoll guy.
Okay, before you,
I will take this as a compliment.
I'm trying to distract you.
I just wanted you to know. Arlo knows I did something, most likely, I assume. So we're all in the loop now.
I'm not one for public executions, so good on you.
Thank you.
as you're walking with Argonon, Burb tugs at your sleeve a little bit, and he says, "Mom, what execution?"
It'd be all right. We're just going to go and help sheriff here real quick.
No. Execution mean?
They're wanting to they're wanting to exterminate a person for their crimes. They're wanting to kill a person for their crimes against people.
Good. He rolled his eyes when you said exterminate. He used a word of equal complication. But he
Can he remember that word?
He
Exterminate.
He says exterminate. Not good.
No, it's not real good, but we got to see if we can help out the sheriff here real quick. And I'm kind of like winking at him a little bit.
Okay.
Now I want Burb to get a helmet with a visor. What are we gonna do? Exterminate.
No.
For that, he needs a flamethrower too.
So you guys arrive at the jail, and Argonon says, "Grim, you've got the biggest muscles here. Come, jump up front with me, and we'll wrestle this guy to the gallows."
All right.
So he goes into the jail. Are you guys following behind?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So you guys walk
I'm right
in.
there.
Burb is looking kind of visibly worried. He doesn't like the idea of a public execution.
I keep kind of like nodding at Burb and just kind of.
Before we get into the thing, I want to stop and bend down and look at my shoe real quick, like I'm adjusting something, just to give the Argonon time to go in first.
Okay.
So it's like he's seeing the thing first.
Gotcha. So Argonon walks down the steps. Doom, 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 doom.
I follow behind it.
Right as you're behind him, and he gets to where he can see where the knoll used to be, he says, "What the heck? How'd they get back here and set the knoll free? Well, that must have been a distraction to gather the knoll. They must have come and broken him free."
Eyes wide. Yes, it makes sense. It's perfect. Those tricky knolls.
Zenas, you gotta roll at least sort of something for that. Since you chose to speak, I have to make you.
Performance or something?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all the same.
Grim, you learned one a bit thick, reel it in.
Not 20?
Yeah, you moved that with your shirt a little bit.
16?
Yeah, that'll do it.
Another nat 20?
So Argonon turns to you and he says, "It's my fault. I left the keys in the drawer upstairs. Fool! Now we have no leverage against Blackfang and the rest of the gnolls. Oh, what are we gonna do, Grim?"
Oh, I don't know.
Does Grim still have the keys?
They're in my pocket.
Okay, I was wondering. Like, I got your keys right here.
I found them on the floor.
We can throw them across the room.
What?
Wait.
Yes?
You have the Druid, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. Don't let him leave town. We'll talk again in the morning, but we all need some sleep tonight. Nothing bad can happen before nightfall. You guys all hear him say this. You're all up in the top floor of this room. You all don't let the Druid leave town. I'll decide what we're going to do, but go back to the inn, get some rest, and we'll figure out what we're going to do in the morning. I just want to say I appreciate all of your help this evening. I don't know what we would have done if we didn't have you here.
Oh, no problem.
Hearing that he mentions Briar, Arlo is a little bit on edge.
Okay.
I don't know if I trust this guy quite as much as I used to.
Gotcha. Argnon, he is a dragonborn, so he raises a red scaly hand to his face and just wipes it kind of in a very contemplative and concerned way, like he's thinking, and he just goes back to sit at his desk and he pulls the drawer open and he shakes his head, like looking where the keys used to be. He says, "Get out of here, don't. This is all my fault. Get out of here, don't. Just go get some rest this evening."
All right, that sounds good, Sheriff. We'll catch up with you later then. So I suppose there won't be any hanging tonight.
Not unless you have someone for us to hang, Arlo.
I'm good.
Okay. Are you guys all?
Skeleton.
Do you say that?
Huh?
Do you say that?
Yeah, just kind of like dazing off into space, just thinking about it.
Jack, there's no time for humor. There's nothing we can do with that Knoll skeleton. It's already been killed once. Its value is gone. What am I going to tell the mayor? Be gone. I've got to think. Be gone.
Alright, and we split.
Yep,
Yeah.
I'm out the door.
I'm going to head back to Briar's room.
Okay. So you guys.
As we're heading out the door, I give Burb a little thumbs up and the wink again. So.
Oh yeah, Burb looks at you and says, "No execution."
Oh, it doesn't look like it, Burb. Looks like he's escaped on this one.
Come on, friend. Sleepy.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I'm not sure how I feel about him not allowing Briar to leave town.
Yeah, me
It is
neither.
Strange.
Grim, Arlo, I've already gotten several hours of sleep if you want to catch up on your own. I can stay with Master Briar until morning.
That's very kind of you.
Thank you.
I'd be okay with that.
Okay, so who's sleeping where? Doesn't really matter. You guys go to sleep for the night.
I'm going to go back to the door, me and my bones.
Okay.
I'm going to be inside that room in case somebody come in through the window.
Okay.
I'm in the same room. I'm just propped up against the wall sleeping.
Alrighty. Cool beans. So you guys sleep, and without issue, you sleep through the night. It's a good night of sleep. Nothing bothers you. No one tries to come in the room seeking out for Briar or anything. You guys just have a normal night of sleep.
Woohoo!
First thing when I wake up, I'm going to start dancing around Bones again. Cast the spell.
Okay.
To reassert control.
Can we hear him dancing from down the hallway?
I'm not
Sure.
gonna sneak
You can
by.
hear muffled them bones, dry bones, them bones.
Jack opens the door and looks up, but then closes.
All right, so it's another day. What do you guys do?
I wait for the boys.
Is Briar awake and
That's what I was gonna say. I want to see if I can try to wake up Briar.
Yep, Briar rises. He rises to wakefulness, and he says, "Oh, that was a good long sleep. Good morning."
Master Briar.
Oh no! Yes, it's so good to see you, boy.
Oh,
And
good,
he
good to see you too.
He spreads his arms out and wraps you up in a big old bear hug.
And then Arlo was destroyed.
And he
lost forever? Folds of time.
he was never seen again.
he holds you close, and he pats the back of your back and the back of your head, and he says, "Oh boy, I've missed you. Oh, I've been through a great deal since we split up. I don't know if we ought to ever do that again."
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. You told me that you were going to meet me at the fountain there in the other town. What happened?
Yes. Not a lot good happened, Arlo. I made my way to Lonesome, but on the way, I came into contact with the constable of Lonesome, hunting in the forest, and he didn't hunt for necessity. He hunted for sport, and he tried to find the biggest and most majestic creatures to kill and to take back to his dungeon. And I spent a little bit of time thwarting him, and, stopping him from doing the hunts. And he got upset enough with me that when I did enter into Lonesome, he found me and he told me he would destroy village upon village until I stopped bothering him. So he took my staff and sent me across the bridge, and I've been here ever since.
He has been extra thwarted.
Yeah, I reach over.
I crushed his skull.
I reach over and I grab his staff. I said, we did a bit of thwarting on your behalf.
Arlo, you killed him?
I did no such thing.
Neither did I.
I just said I crushed his skull.
I know. So it was he, your friend here?
Yeah.
Does he do a lot of killing?
Well, it's not really his fault, but it does seem to happen around him.
Probably most in our group.
Yeah.
Arlo.
To be fair, Master Briar, he was holding people against their will.
I suppose.
And human trafficking with a family and their child.
Leader of our organization.
Organization.
Yes.
I take out my little badge and I show him the back of it.
Oh, he's Arlo. You're a servant of the scale now, my boy.
Yes, sir.
I suppose that means Corgus and got to you in Lonesome.
Yes, sir.
We certainly have differences of opinion and on the way we do things, but it is nice to know you did turn out to be a member of our order.
Now, why didn't you tell me nothing about that?
Because, to be honest, we are a bit of a splinter sect of the I am a bit of a splinter off of the servants of the scale. Corgus and Albert and Corinne and all the rest, they wanted to take a structured approach of fighting back against the council, and their ways involved a lot more death than I was willing to, join in on. So I decided that myself and whatever apprentices I would acquire would just go about doing good, and that's how we would fight the imbalance in the world. We wouldn't have to, be this organization. We could just do good, and hopefully the world would change for the better.
Well, amen. I like the way you do it.
It doesn't work so well, Arlo, as you can see.
We're finding that out along the way. But you know what? I think we're just going to keep on doing good where we can.
Very well. What are you doing here in Excuse me, Grim, you are speaking.
Speaking of, do you know what happened to the children?
What children?
Apparently, the Knolls killed some children in the woods.
No, I've heard tale of no such children. I've heard of no dead children in the woods. All I've heard is the same that you've heard, that the conflict with the Knolls began on account of some dead children. Rest their souls.
Heard of the dead children,
Not anything extra. Excuse me.
just nods.
So what brings you here to Fark, besides the killing of a very powerful government head?
Well, we were told we probably ought not to be around where we done something.
Yes, I imagine they will be looking for whoever killed this important government official. You really stepped in it.
Yeah, we might have stepped in a little bit of that, but more importantly, we wanted to find you, Master Briar. I've been looking for you now for months.
I apologize if I seem ungrateful. I just didn't expect you to get into the business of killing. I hate it so, but I do appreciate you saving me from those gnolls. They
I don't know what that was. That was a big truck or something.
An odd vehicle coming by. But
Batmobile.
they are desperate, and they have blood in their eyes, which is no different from the men of this town. But I appreciate you saving me from them, even if it did cost some lives.
Now, Master Briar, what were they doing with you in that camp of theirs?
Yes. Oh, I remember now. Thank you for trying to get up to speed here. Yes, they had me in that camp. You noticed the
Truck.
Yeah, the giant truck. Big old diesel boy.
This is the second shipment of Briar coming in.
You noticed the treant that they were camped beneath.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Oh, it's bad, Arlo. They have a plan to destroy this whole town, and it involves waking up that treant and using it for their bidding.
Can they do that?
I could.
But you didn't.
No. I was close, though. It's amazing what will do, what you will be willing to sacrifice whenever all the blood leaves your veins and you've only felt pain for days on end. I was close.
Yeah, we might need to get you a cookie or something.
But they want to awaken it and use it to bring it into this town and just destroy it and pull it up, forgive my pun, by the roots.
Well, that ain't no good. But we stopped them though, right?
How many gnolls did you kill when you saved me?
Well, I don't know if I can count that high.
Jack's counting on his fingers in the corner.
You, young man with the mask, how many did you kill?
8, I think.
Oh, then you did not stop them.
What?
How many do they have?
Very, very many. I don't know how many exactly, but far more than 8.
8 less.
They certainly do have 8 less. If they don't use me to awaken the tree, it is possible that they may find someone else who is capable of the task.
Darn it.
There's got to be a way that we can stop this conflict between this town and these gnolls without much more bloodshed, if any.
Yeah, speaking of which, the sheriff has expressed some interest in you personally.
What do you mean?
He said that you ought not to leave town. He's got questions for you.
Why doesn't he? He has that. Why he wants to stay to question me?
I got no idea.
Have we told him of the attack?
Not yet.
What attack?
Arlo.
You know, y'all got there first. I was concentrating on the putting out of the fire. So.
You saw it all go down.
Okay.
With the fang and everything,
I
Black
was-
Fang and all.
Okay.
Yeah, you're all in the same place.
Yeah, the party of the gnolls, about 40 deep or so, decided they were going to burn down a couple of these fine people's homes.
That's no good.
Well, they did run back off in the woods. So
It is sad to see what happens when a group of people get so desperate. Is there anything we can do to stop this conflict? I've exhausted all of my abilities, I believe. I don't know how we could stop this conflict.
The town was in possession of an old prisoner before we got here. Our partner Grim set him free so as to allow life to continue flourishing here.
It was kind of you.
But the...
where's your gnoll skeleton at?
What is he, sheriff?
The sheriff, yeah, Argonon.
The sheriff fears that without said bargaining chip, the gnolls will come and ransack the town. The only way to assuage such a situation is to turn you over to them.
To the gnolls?
Indeed.
That's not an option because they'll beat me to within an inch of my life again as long as I hold off from awakening their tree.
Hey, Master Briar, I think maybe in this situation we ought to just remove ourselves from one side or the other and take a step back from this.
How do you mean? I cannot allow this bloodshed to continue in this town. There's too much death already. I can't just leave.
I agree, but at the same time, you know, you've taught me we strive to seek balance in things, and I think that us either being in the Knoll camp or us being here is not doing any justice to the balance. I think we need to step outside of town, number one, before the sheriff comes over here and gets you. And number two, so we can kind of reevaluate things from an outside perspective.
You're saying we just take a step back and we set up camp outside and look at it from both perspectives and try to figure out a way to change what's going on.
Yeah, that's some good words for that, but mostly just let's get out of here before the sheriff come get you.
All right. I cannot leave before
Breakfast.
something is going. Yeah. Also, yes, what is for breakfast?
Before that, Grim,
Yes.
did you get any information from the gnoll you set free?
I explained.
No,
I'm not gonna. No, I explained. They were all here. I don't remember.
yeah, you learned that.
No, I was just saying I explained to them.
Okay, yeah, you learned that Grim doesn't believe that they killed any kids. The Gnolls seem to say that they didn't kill, that they aren't responsible for this conflict, that the conflict goes back is for a long time, with it doesn't seem like there's any cause for it anymore, that if they see a straggler hunter, they'll kill him, and if a gnoll starts to straggle away, or they can get a chance to kill one of the gnolls, the men of the town will do that.
Is this like a long time running thing?
It's in the.
I thought this was like over the past couple months.
Yeah, it's more of a couple months thing.
Okay.
But the people just can't remember why it started anymore because there's been so much death on either side.
So, Master Brice, you said you saw nothing of children being taken?
No, I wasn't there for that long, but they didn't. The consensus among the gnolls is that they didn't start this conflict.
I see. Then perhaps Arlo is correct. We should see if we can find the story of both sides.
Very
perhaps
well.
Then we can make a better decision.
Very well.
While they're talking, I want to kind of like lean down to Burb and talk with him for a second.
Okay.
Burb, can you remember how to drive that wagon?
Drive.
Yeah, remember
Yes.
the wagon you
Yes.
drove us into town?
Yes.
Can you go get that wagon and go ahead and bring that around?
Yes. Burb says, yes, come on, friend. And he hops down off the bed. Heads on down.
Good man. You're a good friend, Burb. Good friend.
Okay. So he walks down, and we'll deal with that as it comes. So Briar says, I would like a bite to eat on our way out. I haven't had much to eat in a few days, but maybe we should go into the forest and set up camp elsewhere.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
I agree.
Okay, so he stands up, and goes to waddle out the door. Says, lead the way.
I do that.
I'm going downstairs and I'm finding portable food products.
Okay, the bartender gives you some food. You have it, and Briar begins to eat on his way out, just shoveling food in as much as you give him. He begins to waddle out, and with utmost speed and haste, you hear the trot of horses and the creak of wagon wheels as Burb, as soon as you make it outside, pulls up with the thing. He says, "Very fast," and he squeals to a halt. Because he rolled a natural 20 on whatever he did to get that wagon back.
Burb, you have excelled. Thank you, sir. You're doing a good fine job there.
Not no excel. Come on, friend. Thank you. So you guys want to hop in the wagon?
Yep.
Roll to hop.
All right.
That 20.
Sadly enough,
Uh-oh.
as you guys begin to trot off, you hear from a distance behind you saying, "There! That is the fat druid, Ognon. You said that he would be in the inn, but they look to be leaving town."
Burb, come on, let's go. Burb.
Burb turns his
Hang on.
reins and you begin to go speedy. "Hey! Stop that wagon! Stop that fat druid is not allowed to leave town!"
I stand up and I wave from the back of the wagon.
"Don't wave at me! Guards! Stop that wagon!" Towards the edge of town, you two guards step in front of the wagon as it is leaving the town. And there are two
Don't
guards.
stop.
Not going hit. Not more, friend. I need you to persuade Burb not to stop.
4.
I'm up there on the front seat with Burb. Can I hold the reins with him?
With Burb?
Yeah. Burb, come on. We gotta just keep on going.
Okay. And he begins to trot, and the guards are standing there, and they're going to roll a dex saving throw to see if they don't get trampled. And I'll just set a DC for that in my head. Okay, the guard on the left jumps out of the way. The guard on the right also jumps out of the way, so they both jump out of the way, and they say, "Hey, come back here! Guards, after that cart, don't let that fat druid get away!" Also, this is a rather spindly man in a suit and a top hat who's chasing you down alongside Argnon, the red dragonborn. No, he's a man. He's not my other character that wears a top hat. So you guys are going out of town, and you hear, "Shoot them! Shoot that little bird!" And Argnon... Excuse me, sorry. Argnon says, "Oh."
Burb dies, the whole town dies.
Yeah, Argnon is contemplating it, and he says, "All right. Guards, fire on the bird." and the 2 guards knock their arrows.
Jack has one small strand of sanity left.
Oh boy, the guard put down their spears and knock their arrows. Luckily, he's in half cover behind Arlo. He's really kind of shooting at the mass of you.
Nice to know that I'm a meat shield.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I would rather that Arlo gets hit rather than Burb get hit.
Sure, I'm with you. Excuse me, I need to find out what a longbow does.
1d8.
Need to look at the attack on these fellas, though. D10.
No, I did too. That's why I made Keith's book 10. But not.
AC. So the first arrow flies past you both. It goes right in front of you.
You know, half coverage +2.
Huh?
Half coverage +2.
To the AC? Yeah.
Woo.
And the other guard crit fails, and the arrow flies into the back of the wagon and sticks into it. And so I guess this is combat. So we'll say that was a kind of a surprise round on you. So you guys are in the front of this thing. If you want to participate in combat, you certainly can. If not, you do not have to. But we'll just say, for the sake of time, we'll do guard 1, guard 2, and then do you guys roll initiative for me real quick?
11.
That's a 12.
8.
All right. So hold on. Hold those rolls in your mind, please.
While you're rolling, I'm up there with Burb. Can I address the party?
Hold on. Let me get the initiative, and then absolutely can. So what was your initiative roll?
11.
Jack
8.
and Grim.
12.
Jack, please re-roll your 8. Doesn't matter unless you roll a 20. Okay, it's alright. So we got Gerwin, Gertie, and then we got Graham. Nope. Yep, we got Graham, and then we'll go Arlo, and then we got Burb, and then we'll got Jack. Okay, so Grim, it's your turn, sir.
I mean, we're moving faster than them, right?
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
don't seem to be getting, like, on horses or anything?
No, they're not on horses. They're kind of sprinting behind you with everything you got. So you guys are, we'll say your cart has a movement speed of like 40 to 50 feet.
Okay. I will, I guess, just ready in action. If they start to, like, get close, I will cast Shield Touch upon them.
Okay, cool. Ready in action. Let me know if they get close without you get me remembering to do that.
Okay.
Arlo, it's your turn, sir.
All right. I'm in the front with Burb still.
Yep.
All right. I want to ask these guys in the back. I'm kind of leaning back to my LID training on this. Yeah. Big Graham back there. What's the 20 on them bears got following us?
What?
I kind of look back and I'm like, oh, no, they're getting close. All right. They're still back there. Burb, we got to see if we can stand on it. Come on. Let's see if we can hurry up a little bit.
Okay. So Burb, is there anything else you're gonna do? We'll say
I'm good. I'm good.
we'll say with your actions, you help Burb to dash. So you snap the reins and you guys dash another 50 feet ahead on this cart. That's gonna be Burb is gonna say, "No, not shoot me." And he whips the thing, and he keeps going. Come on, friend. He's talking to the horses at this point. Come on, friend. And then Jack, it's your turn.
I'm just going to ready in action to intercept any arrows headed for a horse and or bird.
Intercept them?
Yep.
Like try to catch them?
Like try and get hit by them.
Okay, so you... Okay. Okay. That'll have to be some sort of weird dex check whenever an arrow is fired.
Okay.
So...
Have to try and fail a dex
yeah, we'll figure it out if that happens. So the guards are still sprinting behind you. They're going to use their 30 feet of movement. They're not catching up to you, obviously. But they're probably like 40 feet behind you at this point, something that's not too terribly far. So they again knock their arrows, and they kind of went out at a wide burst so they could maybe get a little bit better sight on Burb, who's got the reins. One of them is going to roll. Oh boy. Our ties go to the attacker at this table. Ooh. So Brice, there's an arrow headed straight for Burb. What? Roll a dex.
I would say roll dex against what you rolled to hit.
Okay.
as like a DC.
Sure, that's fine. Yeah.
Just bullet time right now. Arrow time.
Yeah. So you see the arrow coming. You've been watching to make sure nothing's coming this way. So what'd you roll for Dex? Saving throw.
12.
Oh boy, you just barely miss it. So you try to jump up. We'll say you try to jump up and reach your hand up to try to block this arrow, and you just barely whiff it. Huh?
If he's jumping up to block an arrow at bird.
Wait, the arrow is, you can't shoot an arrow just straight. He's arced it in, so he tries to like, it's kind of coming over your heads and down at bird.
I think it's more just I'm like extending him. Like it's
Yeah, he extends himself.
It was a funny image.
Certainly, he extends himself to try to swat this arrow, but he just barely whiffs it. Your fingers touch the fletching of the arrow. But this arrow actually does connect with Burb, and it hits him in his shoulder, and he goes, "Ah!" As you hit him, and blood begins to come out of Burb's side, and I need to roll damage on a longbow.
Can I take the range from Burb as a action, as a free action?
On your next turn, you may do that.
Ooh, wow, Burb's got some driving to do.
Excuse me for damage. Oh boy. Okay.
No, I already had my hands on the reins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You did have it with him, so you pull the reins out of his hands
Okay.
as he reaches up. So Burb is going to take 8 damage, and for Burbs, sometimes that's not good. So Burb gets hit, and he gets hit, and Burb is shrieking in pain, and you can see him. He kind of starts to cry a little bit, and as the arrow is sticking out of his shoulder, and he pulls his arm up, and he just like curls up in the seat as Arlo takes the reins that were in his hands. And it is now Grimm's turn. But he's.
Can I move up to the front of the wagon to relieve him so Arlo can heal Burb?
When it is your turn.
It just wasn't my turn.
You readied an action.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't ready any movement
I
or
was
anything.
thinking that was my.
Yep. So guard number 2, seeing this hit collide, is going to fire sadly at one of your horses. He is going to miss that horse. He shoots too far ahead. So you guys keep moving at a breakneck pace, and you're kind of leaving their range. This was probably the last shot that they were going to get on you, as far as them being able to sprint behind you and fire these arrows. They look winded. But they are satisfied that they did hit the bird. So one of the guards says, "I got him," and one of the guy in the top hat says, "Well done, guards! Stop them!" As he's like right at the edge of town watching this all happen. And Grim, it is your turn.
For my turn, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to cast Sacred Flame at the guard that hurt Bird.
Oh boy.
So I'm angry, but
Sure.
I'm not trying to kill him.
Okay.
'Cause
You're casting it at him?
There are worse things I could do.
Okay, I was trying to figure out how this wasn't going to hurt him.
No, it's going to hurt him.
Right.
I cast
Might not kill him.
displeasure at them.
Okay.
So he makes a dexterity saving throw or take 2d8 radiant
Oh,
damage.
wow. What am I trying to beat? Because I rolled a 17.
Oh, he wins.
So he dodges out of the way of your sacred flame. This may benefit you in the long run.
But I'm going to command my skeleton to make to shoot a bow and arrow at him.
Okay.
So let me see. What does he do with that? What is the modifiers?
So yeah, I didn't remind all of our viewers that Grim reanimated a gnoll skeleton, and it is now following in him, and his name is Bones.
Now firing a bow and arrow.
His full name is Dem Bones, Dem Dry Bones.
Dry
Well,
bones.
he rolled a 9 to hit. So
Oh, that is not going to hit. So
that's good. That's dramatic.
yeah, his arrow. One of the guards, he sees the guard that you shot at, sees the arrow flying in, and he raises a shield that he just barely gets his hand on and catches that arrow.
I smacked the back of the cart.
Oh, okay. And the horses giddy up a little bit faster at that point, and you guys are still cruising away. Arlo, it's your turn, sir.
All right.
That's what I'm doing if Bird dies.
Oh, yeah.
As a free action, since he was wanting to climb in the front, can I pass the reins off to him?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
classify that as use an object.
Yep. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't take your action to pass the reins.
Okay. So
So it will be up to Arlo to his turn to accept the reins for the free action.
Okay. Well, I mean, the horses are still.
Yeah, you're all
moving.
good. I'm just saying.
All right. So, Jack, take the reins, and then I want to hop into the back where Burb is.
Yeah, Burb is saying. Yeah, Burb kind of rolled into the back, and he's saying, "Help! Come on, brain, it hurts."
Bonus action. I wanna go up to Burb, and I want to say, Burb, you're very, very tough. You're very tough.
Hurt, not tough.
But you gotta have to suck less. And I cast healing word on him.
Suck less.
He regains 5 hit points.
Okay, so the blood stops flowing out of the wound in his back. The arrow is pushed out of his skin and it falls to the floor of the cart, bloodied, and the blood that was running down his feathers and matted them has now stopped flowing from his back.
All right.
And he regains how many?
5. So I
Okay.
give him the thumbs up, and then that was my bonus action. As an action, I'm going to walk back to the back of the cart, and I'm going to cast plant growth
Okay.
behind us.
As
Is that
you
a spell?
It is.
You can't do that.
I can't?
No, you can cast a cantrip. If you cast.
That's an action.
Yeah. Yeah, you can cast a bonus action spell and a cantrip in the same turn, but you can't cast a bonus action spell and a regular spell in the same turn.
tis-
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm still in the back because I want to be a meat shield.
Well, I was about to say, whenever you turn to go to the back, Burb says, "Not leave, hurt," and he reaches up his hand to you.
All right, I take his birdie hand.
Okay. Come on, friend. He's almost got full hit points at this point, just to let y'all in on that.
I just whispered to him, Burb, suck less.
Dog hurt. Okay, so it's Burb's turn. So Burb is going to forfeit his turn and just hold on and say, "Burb tough. Come on, friend."
There you go, Burb.
Jack, it is your turn, sir.
Just gonna keep on driving.
Okay, so Jack, you want to dash with the
Sure.
cart. You guys shoot 100 feet ahead, and at this point the guards have stopped. They have their hands on their knees and they are winded, and you guys ride your cart kind of out of sight of the guards, and you can hear from the back saying, "Come on, you bloody guards! What do we pay you for but to be able to stop carts when they leave town?" And then you go out of sight, and you can hear the angry shrieking no more.
Yay.
Very specific payroll.
He's just mad.
So are we out of combat now?
You're out of combat. Your actions are free.
Jack, I think that spot where we camped out when we got out of the city would be a good spot.
Okay, heading there now. Wasn't that just right at the end of the bridge?
It was
It was
off
somewhere
a
in
little ways.
between.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
There's
was
a pretty-
off the beaten path.
There's a pretty good distance from between the bridge and Fark. So you guys go, huh?
I want to check on Burb,
Okay.
and I want to use my healing touch.
Okay.
As I can heal my level hit points per day as a
Okay.
touch. So I
And
want
you-
to kind of like pat him and be like, "Burb, are you okay?" And heal him.
Okay. Burb says, "Okay now. I take arrow. Burb big tough."
Yes, you did. You are very tough, Burb.
Did a fine job, Burb. Fine job.
Burb looks at Grim and says, "Tougher than you."
Dang
I grab
straight.
his hand, sorely tempted to squeeze it, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't say anything, but I'm not going to crush his little hand.
Burb stops being silly and says, "Come on, friend." And you guys make it to your campsite that's off the beaten path. And you guys, I guess, make a little camp action. And Briar was riding the whole time. I didn't put him in the initiative.
That's
Briar
kinda what- he was eating the whole time.
yeah,
That's what he was doing.
Briar was eating his breakfast the whole time, trying to stay quiet. Wow, what a bummer! What a sucky DM. Completely forgot about
He's
Briar.
just laying as flat as he can to the back of the wagon.
No,
Don't
yeah.
talk about food.
This is a man who has murdered many creatures only to fill his stomach.
Yeah, that's true.
Each day.
So, Briar.
Pass me that squirrel over there.
Briar says, "Arlo, did we lose them?"
Yeah, appears we have lost them. It seems like we're going to be safe over here. This is a spot that's not between the town or the knolls, so I think we'll be all right.
Wonderful. We can make our plans here. I imagine it will be far more difficult to convince anyone in Fark of our helpful desires Now that we've almost... did you harm any of them? I couldn't quite tell.
Nope.
No, sure didn't.
Okay. I imagine it will still be rather difficult for them to...
About runned over a
Trust
couple of them,
us.
but they got out of the way.
Wagon load of
That was
gifts
their
we
own
did.
fault
Very good.
Was
So
their
what
own
are we...
fault for getting out of the way?
for being in the way.
We've got a day ahead of us. What are we going to do now that we've stopped?
Planning
Summon the
montage.
butterflies.
Do you? All right. So
Because I am
Come to me.
are they visibly all gathering around you?
children. Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
just
I
like
they're just
three
attracted to the
butterflies.
ring, I guess.
yeah. So Briar says, "What is this butterfly magic you are casting?"
It's a simple trinket I purchased in Lonesome. It allows me to summon and control butterflies.
Ah, has it found a usefulness yet?
It is aesthetic.
Hmm.
That is its use so far.
That is very aesthetic magic is very common in our world. So,
Master Briar, if I may, I think it's very useful. It helps to calm his soul and keep him from going into a murderous rage and destroying the world.
well, I would.
What?
It's very good. We do not want murderous rages.
No,
Though,
butterflies are better.
it seems you all are prone to murderous rages. How are we going to fix this town?
Certainly not by judging your rescuers.
I'm not. I've killed no man for no reason. It matters not. I understand. Push comes to shove. You know, in love and war. You know what all. I just don't like death. Prefer life.
I am a grave cleric, friend. You've spoken to the wrong person.
Yes, I believe our ideologies are rather different. What we gonna do, boys?
I'm gonna pet a butterfly and stare at it.
The deadly monarch.
I really have no idea what we're supposed to
I think that this might center around the children because there's no children that's what's gone missing, and
I've
there's
spoken to so many people, nobody knows.
nobody knows. But I think that might have something to do with it.
I know there's unrest with the Cullings.
Should we speak to the kobolds? I have a friend there.
The kobolds.
The who?
No.
Oh yeah.
They're basically kobolds.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
Sorry. Jack interjects. No one seems to know what happened to the children. Or at least no one is telling us what happened to the said children. We never met the mayor of the town. Is it possible there's been a cover-up within the town?
It could be. All right, everybody back in the wagon.
Ah, Jack, that could be very possible. The mayor seemed rather concerned with us leaving. I don't know. I haven't spent a lot of time with the mayor.
I haven't met him at all.
I'm certain we could get him to talk.
How do you mean?
I have a collar. It makes people talk.
Call it talking color.
I imagine that could be rather useful. I wonder if there's a way we could use the treant.
I was going to ask if you could control it after it's been awakened.
I can't control it.
Can you
But-
aim it?
Yes, I believe I could. If I have enough strength, I could possibly, in a way of speaking, give it parameters of acting. I could possibly, keep it from doing certain things.
Jack, we need deer. The fat man must eat.
I've had breakfast, but I wouldn't mind a second breakfast.
Your dual swings.
What about 11sies? Yeah, just out of the trees. You're going to summon your butterflies to go and take them down.
Did you know that butterflies actually drink blood?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just as soon as they fall, just
Minerals and all that kind of stuff.
I refuse to believe that. Thanks.
they also drink seed.
Oh, yuck.
They're butterflies. They
Being genuinely serious here, I have no idea what we're supposed to do at this point.
That's
I really don't know.
sure.
so
Briar is very intrigued by your idea that there may be a cover-up in town. Because no one seems to know what happened to these kids. Everyone is, casting blame. He also has a thought that there could be a way to use the treant somehow. But he is not currently, landed on a specific thought of how to do that. He's just been awoken after several days of being beaten to within an inch of his life. So he's, getting started, getting back on track. So it may be up to y'all to figure out how to take care of business. And there are many avenues to go.
We didn't talk to anyone missing children. We didn't talk to the mayor. I feel like we got a little ahead of ourselves. I don't really know.
You
Could
let
be.
Grim run the party for a minute there.
Dang it, Grim.
Maybe we ought to talk to the Knolls. You think, Master Briar?
Didn't somebody else say that? Yeah.
Although
Somebody else,
I am,
perhaps.
I
A
am,
man in black.
I am sorry. I believe that was stated, but
Talking to kobolds.
it may be a good idea. It may be a good idea, but while it may be a good idea, it also could be a very dangerous proposition.
Well, there are three things we need to do, I suppose.
Very well.
There's the treat, there's the mayor, and there's the Knolls.
I know that I cannot. It seems I cannot go back to town, and it seems that I cannot go and speak to the Knolls. That is not a good idea to bring me. The fat druid that everyone seems to want to have a piece of.
I would
So-
suggest you go there anyway.
Enough to go around.
I know that I am large.
Round and around.
It is very hard for some people to lose weight, dwarves especially. I am a dwarf, and it is hard. Our legs are short. It is hard for cardio is difficult for us, especially when magic makes things easier to do. So please, no more jokes about my weight. I know I am large. It is not news to me.
I should clarify that I respect you for your appetite.
Thank you, sir. Speaking of, I believe I will get on getting something to eat. I may be collecting some berries or something, but my thought is, whatever it is you all decide to do, please let me know how I can help. But I think the best place for me is here, where it will be hard to find me, and people may not come looking for me while you determine a plan.
That sounds like a good idea so far, but we got to finish out the rest of it.
I suggest that the treant be a last resort.
I'm kind of inclined to agree on that one.
I agree. I am not convinced that I can direct it with 100% accuracy.
Although, as you alone mentioned, speaking with the Knolls,
Jack, I will take my trident down and cut you.
Oh, I forgot you had that.
He's got butterflies too.
That's true.
I see.
Also, as your DM, very pleased with that kind of exchange.
You should probably be the only one who goes to speak to the Knolls.
I rescued Thrick.
That's true.
You also pulled a skeleton out of that other one.
I know his skeleton pulled himself out.
If he goes, he might ought to leave the
Arlo has
skeleton.
killed none of them.
Fine.
Yeah, I can go see if I can have words with him.
Arlo, they beat me within an inch of my life, knowing I'm a druid. You might not want to tell them that before you begin.
I'll be all right. I think I can manage things.
I trust you.
I'm a big boy. I did a lot growing up.
You certainly did. You've done better than me. I was gone without you for a couple months, and I found myself captured by a bunch of bloodthirsty animals that wanted to, hurt me real bad. And
Hey, we're not that bad.
you guys are real funny. It's not like we have a town to save.
All right. Can you point me in that direction where the Knolls are at?
Briar takes a
Oh my!
big sniff, and then he points a finger out that way and says, "Their camp is that way, Arlo. Here,
All right.
take my staff. You have earned it. I can create another."
Wow. Are you sure?
I can. Yes, absolutely.
All right, Master Briar, this is such an honor.
Yes.
I've seen you carry this staff for many moments.
Although, whenever I first small moments. Although, whenever I first created this staff, I had it with you. I made it with you in mind. You had to grow into it, and seeing and hearing about all you've done, and all the ways you've been able to help without doing harm, you have earned this staff.
Master Briar, I'm honored. Thank you.
You have earned it, son. You are welcome.
Aw,
Now go.
I like that moment. That was good. So does the staff do anything?
Yes.
Is
the
it just
staff
really cool?
gives you advantage on any check that is either specifically animal handling or somewhat related to animal handling.
Okay.
Hey,
It helps you deal with
no
animals.
talking. Or no talking.
Hey. All right. All right. Master Brice, thank you. Can I trust you gentlemen to kind of look after things, and I'll be right back.
I can look after myself, Arlo. Not been gone that long.
You did a good job of looking after yourself for a little while. Why don't you let somebody else look after you for a bit?
Very well. I'm off to find something to eat.
Arlo, at least take Burb with you.
I'm going to go with him.
Okay, then I will stay here by myself with him.
Wait, who? What?
Arlo wants somebody to stay behind with Briar, so he's going with Arlo.
Arlo, but Briar says, I promise you, I am safe. I was a little bit gung-ho with where I was camping in a dangerous part of town as forests are concerned.
The other side of the tracks.
Here I sense no danger, and I will build myself a very inconspicuous shelter using my magical druid powers. I assure you, there is nothing to worry about with me here.
Very much under Arlo's breath, he's just saying, going to be a big shelter. All right, so...
He doesn't hear it.
Big inconspicuous shelter. All right. Am I going alone? Am I going with me? What's happening?
Guess we're going with you.
Everybody going?
If y'all want to, I mean, there were several plans, I guess. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm not directing you in one way.
No,
I'm reminding
I want
you.
to go back to town.
Okay.
Nat 20, I'm sneaking into the mayor's house.
That is not how that works.
I love it.
You rolled a nat 20 to go back to town.
You can't get any more town than
You're
going into the mayor's
You're
house.
miles from town. You can't roll a nat 20 to sneak into the mayor's house for miles.
Nat 20,
Can I
he
get
just
to the town
pops
and
that he's
roll a
there.
and have the nat 20 be I get into town without
Yes,
getting noticed?
absolutely. I was about to say that.
Can I make it as far as the mayor's house?
You can make it to the edge of town. You can make it back to the Gilded Gardener. How about that?
Okay.
You go with me here.
All right.
I'm being generous. We're rolling from miles away.
Unless they're looking for us outside the town, I didn't think there'd be people just like watching around outside the walls of the town.
I mean, there's definitely people on the road that you just left. That you get back to town.
Before he leaves, since you know you're not coming with us, I mentally command my skeleton to follow him and obey him.
Okay. Do you tell him that?
Sure.
I would like for you to.
Well, originally my thought was I just like point at him and then the skeleton walks over and just starts following him around.
So I just had this visual where you're just going by the wording you said, like your skeleton goes with him.
Just no. Jack, I will lend you bones.
Oh, thank you.
Here's three of them.
He will obey you.
Ah, my bones.
Burb says, as y'all are having this discussion, Burb like sticks up his hands and goes, "Who need Burb?"
Burb. Master Brice said he's gonna look around here and do some foraging and looking around for useful things. Maybe you can help him out. Maybe he can show you a couple things while you're at it.
Burb says, "But Burb, tough."
I know you're tough. That's why you gotta stay here and you gotta protect Master Briar.
I think this would be a good point. Just be like, Burb, you do what you think is best, and we can have another solo Burb.
I really just need to write something and just write a narration of what Burb did. Roll a persuasion.
And the kingdom burned for 7 years.
Roll persuasion for Mr. Burb.
Okay. Let's see. Persuasion. 5.
Oh. Burb rolled higher than that.
All right.
And Burb says, "Burb do what he want. Burb decide who he be with before you leave."
Burb, that's very good of you to say.
Okay. He looks back at Master Briar. He looks at all of you. He says, "Stay with Master Briar. Need tough to protect." And he pulls out he just barely unsheathes the sword, and you hear folks at home, if you're just jumping in, Burb has a sword on his belt called the Sword of Screaming or the Sword of Shrieking or something that makes really loud noise when it's unsheathed. All right, so Burb is going to stay with Master Briar, and so you see Burb walk away to Briar, who is walking into the forest looking for berries, and Burb, you can hear Burb say, "Come on, friend," and you hear Master Briar saying, "Oh, Burb.
Didn't see you down there.
What a nice young lad. You will be. I will teach you some of my ways," as you walks through the forest. All right, and you guys are together currently. What's the last thing you want to say in this episode?
Fellas, we've been through a lot. I think we got to go separate ways here for just a minute.
Indeed. When shall we meet back here?
Let's see if we can meet back here about nightfall.
Nightfall? All
Yeah.
right.
I agree. Sounds good to me.
Good luck to you all.
Jack,
I shake Jack's hand.
good luck to you, brother.
Thank you, all of them.
Does Jack shake it back?
Yes. Nope, you are solely shaking my hand.
All right. So that is where we'll end today's episode of Dungeon Boys. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed it, we hope you did. We barely had combat in this episode. This is like 2 episodes without combat, which is rare for us.
And ominous for the next
Yeah,
episode.
very excited for all the role playing that we did. We're kind of, I think, coming into our characters here in the 20th episode. I'm really proud of you guys, and I think everything is going pretty well. Thank you so much for listening. If you really like our show, please be sure to leave a review on iTunes. It's very helpful. Share us with your friends. We're on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes right now.
Duke's Barbecue.
Yeah,
Yep.
share
Very
us at
often
Duke's
found
Barbecue.
at Duke's Barbecue.
To
Take
do
home
that-
some Duke's Barbecue to share with your family.
Absolutely. This episode brought to you by Duke's Barbecue.
But not really.
Go to the channel, YouTube channel, Tank Media Games, and watch some of that stuff. And then follow us on Twitter at Tank Media Games. If you want to talk to me, you can tweet me there, you can DM me, or you can email me at tankmediagames@gmail.com.
There's 3 apps there.
Yeah, in the meantime, we love you very much.
Bye.
Toodaloo.